What's up, folks? It's the end of 2022, and let's talk about my favorite TV shows of the 2022. All right, so let's see what the rules should be. So it either has to start or end in 2022. So there's movies, or there's still shows that are out right now that started that might end in the beginning of like 2023. We can consider those shows, or there might be shows that maybe started in the end of 2021 and ended in 2022. But I think for the most part, looking at my list, all these shows were 2022. And yeah. All right. But before we get into it, are you guys cool with a little bit of honorable mentions? Because I'm only going to do 5. So I didn't want to go into a big list and talk about all 10. So also, there will be no spoilers about these. I will just go a little brief into telling you what I liked about my TV shows for 2022. All right, so honorable mention is Umbrella Academy. I still love Umbrella Academy. Like, it's been out for a couple years, but Umbrella Academy, it's still just super dorky. It's super whimsical. There's always just a dynamic of a dysfunctional family that just gets nailed in this one. So, because superhero movies are kind of going on the down. Like, we're not getting consistently great superhero movies. But superhero TV shows are on the rise, and we're getting some really good ones this year. And the two that did not make it on this list, but were really close, were Moon Knight and Peacemaker. And they're drastically different of types of superhero TV shows, and both of them are really great. And Oscar Isaac just killing it as Moon Knight, and Vigilante in freaking Peacemaker. That show just got elevated even. Oh yeah, Vigilante, Peace. I don't know what's happening with the DCU, but please, I want some more Vigilante.
My butt dance. It's my famous. Oh, hey man.
But Moon Knight, really good as well. And one show that was gonna get some really high praise, but it did not come in 2022, nor did it have a season in 2022. But it was my first time watching it. And it almost, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but Ted freaking Lasso. Yo, this show is great. Like, I'm definitely a person who likes to use Androids and stuff like that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get anything Apple. I might get Apple TV just to watch the show, but I've got friends who have it. So, Ted Lasso, this show was definitely gonna have a strong spot in my top 5, but actually there was no season that came out this year, so I was playing catch up from 2020 and 2021. And Ted Lasso, that show was great, like brilliant, great, masterpiece actually. Like, it hits all my feel good shows. Like, I have shows that I like to watch when you're just like, hey, I just kind of want to feel good, kind of like my Community, my New Girl, my Schitt's Creek. It hits those feelings, but it has emotional levels that are unmatched in so many other ways. And the show legit got me to cry, like legit tears of like sadness or mournfulness. But yeah, Ted Lasso, that was going to be on there. So with that out of the way, some honorable mentions plus a Ted Lasso that couldn't make my list. Let's get into my top 5. So number 5. Now this is where TV shows and movies really separate. With my movie list, it was kind of easier to make my list, but with my TV shows, this is the one where it gets tooth and nail to the wire. It can be split by hairs. But my number 5 is a show that I really love. Stranger Things, the current season. I'm not even sure what season we're on right now, but yo, this show was so great. I might be one of the only people who actually liked the format that they came out with. I think maybe there was like 10 episodes, and they gave us 8 first, and then they waited like 2 to 3 weeks, have us all catch up, and then they released the last 2 a couple weeks later. This show did so much, like some really high highs of peaks of characters running away, characters' deaths, characters that you really got involved with, emotionally attached to, that was like latched onto your heart, that had some tragic scenes that happened to them. And Stranger Things did not hold back any punches, and it ended in a great way where we're just like waiting for the next season to try to figure out what what's everything gonna land and what does this mean for the future? Stranger Things, my number 5. And if you've seen it, let me know where you place it on your list. Okay, my number 4 was something that came out during the same time as Stranger Things, and it is The Boys. I love this show, and they're so creative of revamping and tweaking a formula of superhero that keeps it refreshing while it keeps you addicting. Like, it's addictive just to watch this show while you're getting a new form of superhero entertainment. The Boys does a great job at keeping you hating a villain, but you're always sympathetic with them, and they always make a villain that you hate so damn much, but they always add a villain that you hate even more, that you're also rooting for a villain that you hate. Oh, yes, I'm talking about like freaking Soldier Boy and Homelander. Like, how do you make a... Yeah, this show is genius, and I love it. I think it's one of those ways where an artist gets to redo a formula, and I'm really loving everything that they're doing with The Boys. So, The Boys. My number 3 pick was a show that I wasn't really looking forward to, and I actually waited like a couple weeks. I fell back. I was like, you're not gonna get me again because you got me before. And I was really skeptical when I went into this one, and it was House of Dragons. Oh man, I'm pleasantly surprised and happy that I gave this show a chance, and it got me. I think it was by episode 3, I was like, yeah, I'm having fun. Episode 4, I'm like, all right, I'm in. But I think House of Dragons did a really great job of cleaning up its prequel, the sequel series, or the first series of Game of Thrones, and it's doing really good. Like, people were forgetting about how bad Game of Thrones ended because of how great House of Dragons started. So they were fighting an uphill battle, and they stood their ground, and they kept their feet firmly planted and making a great show. So House of Dragons, keep it up. And the next season, which I didn't know was, I honestly thought this was going to be a one season and done. I was like, oh, okay. But then it ended. I was like, well, I want more. And like, oh, we're going to give me more. And I was like, yes. But for my only critique for the next season of House of Dragons, please, for the love of God, no more pregnancy birth scenes. I think we're done. I think we're set on that. Like, we get it. We get it. Okay, so my number 2 is actually a show that I was really surprised, and it's The Bear FX. And I think I made a video earlier this year talking about it, and I really enjoy The Bear. Like, I don't know if my taste in movies are changing, or even if it is, I'm saying that I'm actually loving the emotional growth of characters a lot more than I ever thought I was before. So, and The Bear gives me that, and a great scooping development. I don't even know if that's even right, but yeah, I would say the emotional growth of the character in The Bear was one of my favorites. And it also has to deal with just trauma and masculinity in a great way, while it's telling a story about this guy who's running a restaurant. He used to be a really big chef, and I think that this was probably one of the best TV shows that you can just really enjoy that, but it could be a good talking point of like talking about many other things, which like once again, like masculinity or emotional help, where it's sometimes can get glossed over with just all the flashy stuff. Now, The Bear, it hits emotional levels, but it just reminds me of how real it is when I was working in, like, I think my second job was working at Outback Steakhouse, and I did a brief stint of working in the back on the lines, working in salads, and I remember, like, from the big cook to all the way to the right to where I was on the salad side, it was like crazy back there. There's people just yelling. There's dishes always thrown up. You got the dishwashers over there. You got the people coming in telling you their orders, and like that's a lot to process. And that show did, I think it was maybe episode 4 or 5, without giving too much away. It does a single shot the whole episode, and it captures chaos, which I can say it's overwhelming. It's like, whoa. So The Bear, number 2, The Bear just did a great job of just being chaotic, masculine, and yeah, just a lot of talking points that you can go on with that movie or that show. So yeah, I think The Bear made it my number 2. It was actually a good recommendation. I didn't just like fall upon this show and oh yeah, I know about it. So thank you for the recommendation. So yeah, roll please. Wiki. You like that? Subverted your expectations because it is the DJ. Okay. Anyway, number 1, my favorite show of 2022 was a show that I've been really trying to get more people to watch, and it is. Do you like how I'm going slow? So I'm getting you guys like really like, oh, what's he gonna say? So sorry. All right. My number 1 favorite show is Better Call Saul. It did its final season, and I think it's one of the best season finales. Not the best by far, but like it does so much and I think it was one of the best shows ever. Like yeah, like there's so much that you can break down about Better Call Saul that I think is ingenious. It's one of those shows where I specifically wasn't craving for it. I thought after Breaking Bad ended, I was like, oh, this is really good. And I thought Better Call Saul was going to be like a cash grab where it was like, hey, we're just going to kind of do, you like this? Well, we're going to give you a prequel. And I was like, not too much on prequels. And this show gave me so much that I did not know that I wanted, that I needed. And it tells a great story. And I don't know if I can give one actor or character its standing praises that it needs. We have Kim Westler. We have obviously Saul or Jimmy. But if I only had one person to give it to, like I would be so. I can't like it. You've also got Nacho. You've got freaking Gus. You've got okay. So if I had to give it to one person that made the show even better than I was ever thinking, maybe Lalo. That man is frightening. He's probably one of the most frightening characters in all of Breaking Bad lore. If not on like TV, like you've got to see this show. I think it's one of the best shows that have ever came out. And I'm not even sure if I can challenge somebody. If you've never seen Better Call Saul, if you've never seen Breaking Bad, you might just like Better Call Saul as an isolated thing. If you love Breaking Bad, you might even love Better Call Saul even more because you're getting some backstory that you didn't. Yeah, I don't want to ruin it, but I think there was maybe 5 or 6 seasons of Better Call Saul, and all of it's really good. It starts off slow, but that slowness pays off to establish some really great characters. Like you get to learn more about Mike, and Better Call Saul did such a fantastic, phenomenal job of telling a story in a way where I'm gripped, and I just loved it. Like, I think it's criminal underrated because I still hear a lot of people saying that how much they love Breaking Bad, which is good, but not enough people are talking about Better Call Saul, and it ended, and it was a fantastic show. So that was my 5 shows of 2022. If you have your own list, you should let me know, or your favorite show. But man, I've got to tell you that Ted Lasso, if that came out this year, this would have been worded and worked differently because Ted Lasso also a really great show. So I hope 2023 gives us another season of Ted Lasso. But man, this is TV shows are where it's at. I think TV shows are nailing it right now. A little bit more than movies for me, but TV shows, that's what we're talking about right now. So until next year, I hope you guys have some fun. But as always, if you want to talk about your own TV shows or movies, let me know. I'm here. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.